Okay, this is part two of doing a interview at Zip Realty. We went in part one, we discussed why people go into business. Now we're going to enter into the 10 questions that are necessary in any interview process. And I hope you kind of see the progression of these questions as we go. The progression really is set up to help them understand that they have a problem, to help them understand the dollars and cents of the problem, to help them understand how we are going to solve the problem for them, and then the closing in which we ask them to come work for Zip Realty. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at presentation here. And so the interview here, the 10 questions that every recruiter should ask during an interview, okay? So the first question that we ask is in the admitting to get a problem, admitting that they have a problem. So we want them to come out and say they have a problem. There's an old adage in the sales business that if I, as the salesman, say it, it's a lie. If they, as the customer, say it, it's the truth. So we need to make them say that they have a problem, admit they have a problem, right? So the first question we ask is, why are you investigating the possibility of moving your license to a new broker? Now, let me stop here and say I will send out this slide eventually, but it's very important that you take notes right now. Nothing is going to be done for you. So taking notes will help you memorize this and get it into your head. So eventually this will be sent out, but not immediately, because I'm relying on you guys taking notes at this point. This will help you memorize it and get it into your head. And really, it's going to help you also kind of maybe put some of these things in your own words while saying the same thing, make it sound more natural. So anyway, so asking them why they're investigating the possibility of moving their license to another broker. Why are you here? Any of those questions will work. And really what you want them to say is what is causing them to be there, or what the problem is. State the problem. Is it that your real estate, your brokerage that you're currently at doesn't have good web exposure, or you're not getting any leads, whatever the problem is, right here, you've got to spend as much time here on this question as necessary in order to get them to admit to you they have a problem. Now, if they're new, you might ask them something like, what do you consider the most important thing a broker can offer that will persuade you to sign with them? Okay? So you're trying to get their perception as to what is important that a broker will ask. Again, take your time here. This is probably the most important part of an entire presentation, is admitting that they have a problem. Two reasons. Number one, they start to believe it in their own mind. This might be the first time that they've ever admitted this to themselves. And now they admit it, they say it out loud, it codifies it in their brain, in their heart. They know they need to make a change. Number two, they'll tell you exactly what you need to do in order to close them. Okay, so that's the important part. Next question. So once they tell you they have a problem, say, well, how many homes per year do you need to sell in order to hit your income goals? Now, this kind of goes back to our original video on the what's necessary part. Remember, they have to have goals. They have to have a business plan. They may have never even came up with a goal. Help them. Help them. So whatever their income goals is, they're going to spit out a number here. Make sure you have them justify it. So if they say, well, I was really hoping to do 12. Really, what does 12 goals get for you? What does that help you make a certain amount of money? So have them say what they need, what their money goals are, and tell them, so they need to admit what their goal is. And there's a very, very important reason for that. That's question number 3. How many closes are recorded in the MLS for you so far this year? Okay, so question number 2, how many do you need? What's your goal? Number 3, okay, are you meeting your goal? My guess is if that number 2 matched number 3, there would be no number 1, right? So the thing you're doing right here is make them admit they have a problem, that their business is failing in some way, that they have income goals that aren't being met, and that you're helping them understand the difference, the disparity between where they are currently and what their goals are. So that is, in a nutshell, part one of the interview process. We make them admit they have a problem, and we have them state their goals in order to understand better what the problem is. Now, going into that, from there, we're going into question number 4 on part 2 of this video series, and we're going to spend some time on part number 4, and that is once they understand where they have a problem, now we're going to try to help them understand what the solution to that problem is. So we'll pause here, practice questions 1 through 3, and what we'll also do is look forward to video number 3, and video number 3 will help us understand how to take advantage